I wanna be the dream that comes true. I wanna be the one that finds.
Hello, everybody. Desiree Benson here with somebody very special for my Move by the Music segment on A Day in the Life of Desiree. I have the extraordinary recording artist, Jon Jon Harreld. He started his career back in 1987 with the R&B group known as Troupe. He is currently working on some solo projects, and I have the great pleasure of speaking with him about all the good things he has going on. Thank you for joining me today, Jon Jon. I'm glad you're here.
Oh, thanks. Good to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's great talking to you. And, you know, one of the first things I want to tell you is you have an amazing voice. It's amazing, it's unique, it's memorable. So tell us a little bit about yourself, where you went to school, where you grew up, and tell everybody how you became interested in music at an early age. I know you have a story to tell about that.
I've always loved music since I can remember. And obsessed with playing bongos and drums and stuff like that, and wanting to just, learn about music and singing and all of that stuff, and began singing with my family. We sang as a family, and we sang churches all over Pasadena, Los Angeles, pretty much everywhere around California. And so that's actually where my music started.
Okay, so singing in church with your family, and you said you were interested in the drums and in the bongo?
Yes.
So why were you interested in those instruments particularly?
I don't know. It was just something that I actually kind of picked up, learned really fast. I play by ear, so I kind of adapted that really early at age. I think I was playing bongos at around like 5 or something like that. And started playing drums at around like 7.
Okay. Well, you said that you were able to pick things up by ear and do it like that. That's awesome, because that's a great skill to have, to be able to hear something and then duplicate it like you did. That's great. That's great. So it's always great to have your family supporting you, and it sounds like you had a great family and a great support system. So with that being said, who were some of your influences musically, and were you inspired by anybody in particular?
I think I was inspired by a lot of people. I was inspired by, I didn't know that at the age of 14, 15, I believe, that my voice would get mature as it did. I didn't know that it would happen like that, but I used to always listen to big voice singers like Isaac Hayes and Barry White, Teddy Pendergrass. I used to listen to those, to those singers all the time. And of course, I've always loved, Jackson 5 and, great entertainers like that. Temptations, always like those people too.
So even at an early age, you had a really big, attraction to those groups that had a lot of soul, had a lot of sound, had a lot of deepness. You mentioned Barry White, and he definitely had one of the deepest voices out there.
Okay, well, even though my mom used to always make us practice all the time and, singing songs, because he was always singing in the church, she didn't, let us stop listening to, R&B music, even though we're actually PKs, because our mom was over the music ministry at the church. So, that we're kind of like PKs. But she didn't let, she let the other music also influence us as well. So I thank my mom for that. I mean, if you're an entertainer and you've never, experienced, a Jackson 5 television performance, or even to go to see a Jackson concert or something like that, then you're not an entertainer, because they're the greatest.
They're the greatest, absolutely.
You have to be, it takes, in order for other artists to be great, you got to study the greats. You have to study the great ones that were before you. It's like that saying, how do you know where you're going if you don't know where you come from?
All right, or you don't know where you've been.
And
that's an important
Definitely and that's where
message, Jon Jon.
Oh, yeah, and that's where we come from. We come from great, we were influenced by the Temptations, the Jacksons, New Edition. So you have to, in order to make your stamp on the earth, you got to do your homework.
You're right, and I believe that a lot of the people who are involved in music today, you talk about, yourself and New Edition and people like that and groups like that who actually understand probably a little bit better where R&B came from, the Motown sound and things like that. There's a place where it actually originated. It took some time. We worked, to bring, R&B to the world, and there were certain people who were in place who helped, orchestrate that really well.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm glad that you mentioned that.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
so gotta recognize that. Have to recognize that.
Music is your life. You're doing amazing things. So I want to talk to you a little bit about Troupe, because when people heard the word Troupe, or they hear that word Troupe, they think of people who stick together and such, like maybe in the military troops. So explain the significance for everybody of what Troupe stands for. Does it mean anything?
Well, yeah. Full respect of other people. World War I, World War II, and the Korean War. And when he found out that our name was going to be Troupe, he said, "Are you guys serious about that?" He said, because it's like a military situation, so where everybody is basically really connected to one another and devoted to each other. And you guys are a great group. You guys have a great name, but the name needs to stand for something. And that's where it all came about, and that's what Alan had came up with. And it just, that's just, it felt just like even the name Troupe. We didn't have a name for the group until like maybe 3 days before Mamacita was released.
Oh, wow.
So it was something that had to happen really fast for us to come up with a name. We had a lot of names in the beginning. And
I bet.
But the label, the names that we were given to the label wasn't sticking. So Steve was watching a series of the television show called F Troupe. So he was putting other things in front of the word Troupe. And we just said, we all just agreed, let's just go ahead and just be Troupe. Okay.
It's a great name, and it represents, you guys are iconic. You guys are a group that really, really stuck together and found your own sound. And anybody who knows you and knows your music would understand that. So those people who don't know, who are the members of Troupe, and actually, how did you guys come together? How did you even form the group?
Rodney's mom, she formed the group along with her son Rodney. She had a dream of her son being on stage with 4 of his friends. Pretty much the rest is history. And
so it all started with a dream.
It all started with a dream.
Wow, okay.
It all started with a dream. And, it was a connection that everybody already had with one another from school and stuff like that, and boys and girls. So that's where the connection really started at, between those two places. Because me and Steve, we knew each other, and Rodney and Reggie, they knew each other. And we met Alan kind of last.
Okay.
But we pretty much all grew up together in the same city of Pasadena, California. And me being friends with Rodney's mom having that dream, when I found out that Steve even had a voice, I said, wow. I told him, I said, man, I sing too. This was like back in 1980, 81, 82 or something like that. I didn't know that he could sing. I knew that he was a great dancer. He loved Michael Jackson. He imitated Michael to the fullest. Steve was a beast. He was incredible doing that stuff. But I didn't know that he could sing at that time. And so that's what we were doing. We would do Thriller, Beat It, and then he would do Billie Jean. And so that's what we was doing with our dancers and stuff. We would do that in talent shows, and that's what we were doing.
Okay.
But never knowing that he could sing. So it was his birthday, and his mother had got him a chocolate cake, a $20 bill, and his black and silver Michael Jackson Beat It jacket.
Oh, nice.
And remember it like it happened, just like it was yesterday. But he was singing this song. It's funny because him and Alan redid the song. They did Lady in My Life, which is out on iTunes and Amazon, Mac Ruff. So I got to pick that up. They killed that record. They did a really, really good job of Lady in My Life, Michael Jackson.
Okay.
But I heard Steve singing that song over the phone to this girl. And I was like, man, you can sing. I know you can sing.
She has to love that.
He said, nah. He said, you think so? I said, man, I do. I said, man, you bad. So, and plus that, I was a really, really big, I'm still, I'm gonna always forever be a Michael Jackson and Jackie, Marlon, Tito, Jermaine, all of them. I'm gonna always love those guys. But, and for me, liking the Jackson so much and hearing Steve sing like that blew my mind. I was like, wow. So I said, man, I don't tell nobody. I said, but I sing too. He said, you do? I said, yeah, man, I sing with my brother and my two sisters and our mom. We sing at church all the time. He said, man, you sing with your family? I said, yeah. So I sang a song to him by O'Brien. I sang a song called Lady, I Love You. He said, wow, Jon Jon. He said, man, you got pipes. He said, man, you can blow. I said, oh, man, for real? He said, no, man, he said, man, I'm bad. He said, man, you bad. I said, dude, man, you can blow.
Comparing who was the baddest, huh?
So that night, I said a prayer to God, and I told God, I said, God, I like Steve. I think he's real cool. I said, right now we're just doing a whole bunch of dancing with these kids at the Boys and Girls Club. I said, can you do with something else later on in life? So with that prayer and Rodney's mother's dream, it matched.
It was synchronistic. It was meant to be.
Yeah.
It was meant to be.
And that's
awesome. Thank you for sharing that because a lot of people don't know how that originated. It reminds me of one of my favorite quotes from Victor Hugo is, there's nothing more powerful than an idea whose time has come. And what you just shared is basically what that means. You had this idea, you prayed about it, his mother had this dream. Everything was working together to make this happen. And the name Troupe, of course, total respect of other people, it goes a long way because not only did you respect, his singing ability and he respected yours, everybody seemed to come together and respect the fact that you all had different gifts to bring to the group.
Right.
How close are you guys today?
We're still close. The feeling is we're brothers, you know what I mean? And that's why it hurts us when we go through certain stuff, that's even outside of, the group, per se. When we go through stuff individually and it's negative, it's like, it's a really hurtful situation. no matter what the situation is, when it's negative, it's like we feel one another. So when we get together and we have these, sometimes when we go out and we have these concerts and stuff, we always meet up in a room. We'll go to somebody's room and we'll just sit down and we'll just talk for a few hours before we start getting ready for the show or whatever. And, pretty much working through our situations and trying to figure out things, what we can do, how we can be able to help, how we can help one another, and how we can have the next day to be better for us.
Absolutely.
So it's even right now, it's a hurtful thing for us not to be with Reggie right now. And it is what it is. So my call in response to all of the fans is to pray for us all. Pray for us all, especially everybody. I'm not even going to say especially Reggie. I'm going to say especially everybody, because
especially everybody.
We have our good days, we have our bad days, we have our ups and we have our downs, and it's sometimes how we go through certain situations, how we go through things. And right now, Reggie is choosing to do something right now that we don't like, but we have to still love him. We still have to continue to pray for him, and he'll continue to he'll always be our brother. So
that's the thing, Jon, with life in general. Just listening to you talk about that and supporting each other. Even though you guys may not see eye to eye on everything, you still love each other like your brothers, and that's important. At the end of the day, you can come together and air out your differences, and then continue on with your mission and doing what you're supposed to be doing. And that's a great thing to have that, because you're so well connected to each other. That's something that you can always expect to occur with you guys. Come back together and reconnect and recharge. And even when you're saying that, I have to admit that when I was it was either 5th or 6th grade, and you guys did that cover of Michael Jackson 5 song, All I Do Is Think About You, on that Attitude album. Oh my goodness. I just knew you guys were just singing for me. You were only singing to me. Nobody else, just me. And actually, Booker was the one who produced that in the
yeah. Yep.
Okay. And even spread my wings. Oh my God, I used to act like I was a background dancer in my room singing to you guys, and I was just in love with you guys. So if you were thinking about I'm Not True, that was great. That's a high energy hip hop New Jack swing style. Tell me about that and your dancing style.
Well, let me see. We're talking about the music video for I'm Not True.
Yeah.
Rodney and myself had a lot to do with that choreography. The performance on the Arsenio Hall show, we pretty much did the same thing, and Steve brought in this lowrider type thing that he wanted us to do, the lowrider move and the lean. And that kind of what that did to it, that took it up 50 times more of a notch, if I can say that
right,
word.
Right. You turned it
just,
up.
It just surpassed everything. But we like working with, for Mama Tita, we did a lot of the choreography ourselves, but we also worked with Barry Lather. Barry Lather, one of the baddest white boy choreographers pretty much in the world, because he worked with Janet Jackson on Control on the awards show. He did the Pleasure Principle video. So that white boy is incredible. He's sick. Incredible. So we wanted, the thing about Troupe is we wanted to work with people who worked with the best. Well, the best female performer will always be Janet, and the best male performer will always be Michael. So for
Family thing.
our second single, which was My Heart, we pulled that off. We did. The funny thing about Troupe's choreography is we're really funny, man, because we want to work with these great people, but then they turn around and they tell us, why do you guys want us? Because the step that you guys already did is already done, and it's good. Why you want to use us? No. We still want to use them because they've worked with these great entertainers. I mean, it doesn't get any better than working with Janet Jackson and Michael Jackson. It doesn't get any higher than that. It just doesn't. So our guy who helped us choreograph My Heart was an incredible dancer. You know him. Everybody knows this cat. This is Jeffrey Daniels from the group Shalimar.
Absolutely.
Jeffrey Daniels and his partner Casper. They actually choreographed Smooth Criminal and Bad with Michael. So it don't get no, like I said, it doesn't get any better than that. So that's why we want to go ahead and use them. So it's great to have that stamp of approval of them, matching our choreography for those two songs, Mamacita and My Heart.
Yeah, it was absolutely amazing. The energy that you guys had is incredible. Everything's coordinated and the moves. I know everybody was trying to practice those moves to get them down. So keep watching the videos over and over again to get your moves down because it was that great. So let's fast forward to, I believe it was 1991, and you, along with Troupe, along with Gerald Levert and Queen Latifah, were on the soundtrack for Mario Van Peebles' New Jack City, where you guys did some acapella, an acapella version of Stevie Wonder's 1973 song "Living for the City," which was absolutely amazing. Tell us how you guys came about to pick up with Gerald Levert and Queen Latifah on that.
One of our most nervous performances for that, because movies are funny. You get to see certain stuff before they're done and before they have to go ahead and, film another part for the movie. Like, we didn't do it. Our stuff wasn't filmed because we didn't do our singing parts yet in the studio. So we went to the studio, New York. We went to this theater, like this little small theater. They had us in this little small theater to let us see what Levert had did first. Man, oh man, when we saw what Levert did, we were done. We were through. We were like, what are we going to do? What are we going to come up with after hearing what they just did?
Like a tough
It was
act
really
to follow,
crazy.
huh?
It was really crazy because, number one, they were doing their dance record, It was amazing on how they put that together. It was incredible. So, it took us a long time for us to come up what we came up with. And Rodney, he started out he said, living just enough. And that's what he did.
Awesome.
And that's all he did at that time. When he did that, everything started to come together like that. He was like, yes, that's it. That's it. Everything just started coming together. And because at first, what we had did in the beginning was different. We were trying to do the actual. It's an actual musical sound that Stevie Wonder was playing on the song. We were trying to do our voices to that musical lick that he was playing.
Okay.
And we did that for a while, and we added harmony parts to it and all of that. And it just kind of, it wasn't working. It just wasn't working.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was just kind of funny on how everything started happening. I remember I was playing around in the studio, in the booth, and all I said was, "For the New Jack City," and that's all I did. The guy who was recording said,
Jon Jon, you have to do that again. Do that one more time. I have got to do that one more time, please.
That is so funny. Okay, let me clear my throat as I'm going around this rose bowl. Andrew. Let me see. Well, that's what I just said. For the New Jack City. And then Alan said, boom. Steve said, bum. I said, bum. Rodney said, bum. And Ricky said, bum. And it all just worked.
Oh, my God, that's amazing. Your voice is
all just came together.
incredible. I mean, how fun was that to have, like, Gerald Levert there listening in and seeing what you guys were doing? No. We wasn't there. We wasn't there. Gerald wasn't there. They wasn't there. We saw their part. We saw their part. We saw their part on film. Ah, I see.
So the guy who was recording it and was actually Rodney's cousin, Vasal Benford. It was him. I forgot the other guy, but they actually produced the track. And what we did is we did our acapella stuff, and what they did with the track, they just mixed our vocals into the track.
And that's awesome. Vasal Benford is amazing too. He's out there in LA with you guys. Area. Okay, great. I mean, you guys obviously had the right people, and it was the right time for all of this to transpire, and you guys have done some wonderful things. So let's fast forward a little bit to 1998.